Hi, my name is Martin Bell. I'm the founder and CEO of JAVA HiFi. We're an amplifier manufacturer from New Zealand. Well, I think we wanted to do something different. We wanted to use some new technologies. We wanted to have some new industrial design, some fresh industrial design. And we didn't want to just be another Me Too product. I think coming from New Zealand into a pretty crowded market, you've got to be doing something different. You can't afford to be just another Me Too product. So that really underpinned everything that we did. I'm a long-time audiophile. I had one of those epiphanal moments that many audiophiles have when you sort of, in my case, I randomly wandered into a hi-fi shop and sort of leant down and my head went between the speakers and the sweet spot, and suddenly this whole new world of music opened up for me. I was probably about 18 at the time. It kind of ruined me for life, really. Once I'd heard what could be produced through a great quality music system, I was really on a path. So I've really always been into creating and owning great equipment, and then sort of latterly, over the last 10 years or so, got into the development and manufacturing side of things because I just had this crazy notion that we might be able to do something different and something better. And that's been the journey of the last 10 years. I came up with the name JAVA HiFi because I am a real coffee aficionado, and of course Java is slang for coffee, and hence that has carried through to the naming of the single shot and the double shot. It was 4 letters. We were able to make a cool kind of waveform logo out of the name. Just one of those moments of inspiration, I guess. Just being able to bring the listener closer to the music. And you see that in demos, you see that at the shows that we attend. I recall one particular moment, and this really speaks to why we do what we do. We were at Capital Audio Fest, and a gentleman came in and he asked for a particular track, Harvest Moon by Cassandra Wilson. And at the end of the song, he was sitting in the sweet spot in the chair, and there were tears streaming down his face. And I think if you can get that emotional connection with the music, and it was just such a stark reminder of the power of music and why we do what we do. Well, I hope the future for JAVA HiFi is really exciting. Obviously, we've started with a 6-strong range of amplifiers, or 8 if you include the Java Carbon editions. We've certainly got plans for new products and being able to introduce new features into the existing range as well. The use of innovative technology is really, one of our fundamental principles of the company, and so we use LDRs, light-dependent resistors, in the preamp circuit. Light-dependent resistors have, I believe, some great benefits in an audio circuit. They isolate the signal from the control electronics that are being used in the amplifier, and they just provide a really, really simple path for the signal to pass through. You remove things like carbon wipers and contact switching, which you'll find in most other amplifiers and attenuators. So our execution of LDRs, we've got our own unique proprietary circuit design. We think it's something pretty special, and we use a version of that, so you can find the sort of full version of that circuit in our preamps, our LDR preamps, and we use a version of that LDR circuit also in our integrated amplifiers. And we combine that in the integrated amps with GaN-FET technology, so it's a Class D topology, but using GaN-FET transistors, which I think are a great leap forward for Class D sound. The Class D has come a long way over the last few years, and I think GaN-FETs are the next big leap forward. We were the first company to use GaN-FETs in an integrated amplifier, in our single-shot integrated amplifier, and certainly we're the only company in the world that's integrating LDRs and GaN-FETs into the same design. Another part of the Java philosophy is really to place our customers at the heart of everything we do. And you see that in the ability of the customer to be part of the design process. So the customer can choose from a number of different front panel finishes and casework finishes. If you're into sort of more of a classic mid-century modern look, you can go for your coppers and your walnuts. If you want something that's maybe a little more minimalist, we've got the white and the silver. So you can really mix and match to suit your personal taste and your decor, and that's just another sort of innovation, I guess, with Java. So each model, you've got basically a combination of 18 possibilities of finish, and then you extend that over the whole range. There's 120 possibilities of models and different finishes. So I think that's a really something that not a lot of manufacturers do. Basically for most products you can get it in any color you want, so long as it's black or silver. But we're daring to do things a little differently on that front. Well, I'm relatively new to audio as a manufacturer. My background is not on the design or engineering side of things. What I've done, I think, is been able to assemble a team of experts. We have a great team of engineers in New Zealand. We work with a few other engineers that are deep experts in their field overseas in the US and in Europe to help create our products. But everything is designed and assembled in New Zealand. And I'd like to think perhaps that I'm something like a conductor of an orchestra. I'm not necessarily the engineer or the designer, but I can work with great people in those fields to bring a product to life.